Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, kids diagnosed with pediatric brain tumors get a ride they'll never forget. Then we'll take you inside the famous King's Hawaiian for an exclusive look at their bakery and charity project. Plus, 8th graders take over City Hall for a day. We'll show you how they did. And a local company celebrates 75 years of business in the fast lane. These stories and much more are just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. It's that time of year again when the weather is changing, and unfortunately along with it comes fire season. A mostly dry winter lent a hand to several brush fires in the South Valley and surrounding areas that claimed more than 20,000 acres. The Torrance Fire Department offered their help in putting out the Camarillo Springs fire. 2 engine companies were dispatched as part of a 5-unit South Bay strike team. The responding engine companies included a minimum of 4 firefighters that worked in 12-hour shifts. Typical assignments involved structure protection and supporting hand crews working on the fire lines. Back home, additional personnel were hired to backfill reserve fire engines here in Torrance, so that the level of service to the city would not be affected. Coincidentally, Torrance Fire was just preparing to conduct their annual wildland fire training, and they now have first-hand experience to go along with it. Councilman Pat Fury recently announced his candidacy for mayor to replace Frank Scotto when his term is up in June of 2014. Fury made his official announcement at a meeting of the North Torrance Homeowners Association, where he served as president for many years. Fury was first elected to City Council in 2008 and will be running against fellow councilman Bill Sutherland, who previously announced his candidacy as well. Local middle school students recently had a chance to run the city council meeting and learn about the various jobs within the city by shadowing city officials. Reporter Shannon Murphy has more on the story.
It's Student Government Day. These are 8th graders, and they're going to take charge of the meeting tonight, and they're learning what government's all about.
Nearly 24 middle schoolers were chosen to participate in this year's Students in Government Day, a city-sponsored event designed to teach students how local government works, to promote participation in community affairs, and emphasize that we can affect change at the local level. Applicants were asked to submit an essay describing a law they think City Council should create and how it would improve the city of Torrance and benefit the citizens who live here. The competition was stiff.
Almost 1,300 essays we read, and narrowed it down to actually 21 students.
Students learned what goes on during a normal business day by seeing how the city operates. Students were able to job shadow department heads, the police chief, even the city manager, discussing numerous issues that affect the community, while the mayor and city council members prepped and mentored the students for their big chance at running their first city council meeting later that evening.
You can see how the students did this entire week on CitiCABLE during rebroadcast of the city council meeting, and we'll have more coverage later on our show. It's a one-day event that handles more than 200 community improvement projects at over 40 locations in the South Bay and Harbor areas. Think it couldn't be done? Well, think again, as the 10th annual ShareFest Workday Community Building event accomplished just that. ShareFest Community Development rallied thousands of volunteers to accomplish this tall task, but it's nothing new for them. ShareFest has been bringing together nonprofits, faith-based organizations, and businesses to complete thousands of hours of community service in order to improve the greater South Bay and Harbor region for more than 10 years. One project already completed here in Torrance is the beautification of Jefferson Middle School. This included the installation and painting of the multi-purpose room, thanks in part to Balfour Betty Construction and Crenshaw Baptist Church. To learn more about ShareFest and how you can get involved with a project near you, visit sharefestinc.org or call 310-626-8106. The mayor and city council members were back in session this week with the help of local students participating in Students in Government Day. Students read a number of proclamations, including National Preservation Month, encouraging residents to join fellow citizens across the U.S. in recognizing and participating in this special observance of historic preservation. Next on the agenda, the community is asked to recognize Torrance firefighters for the services they provide and to support the public safety activities and efforts of the fire department. He proclaimed May 11th as Fire Service Day. May 13th through the 17th is Bike Commute Week, with commuters being encouraged to help reduce traffic, promote good health, and improve air quality by riding their bicycles to work. You can catch replays of this week's council meeting right here on CitiCABLE 3, on Time Warner Cable, or Verizon Fios Channel 31 every Wednesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. You can also watch online at torranceca.gov. For 75 years, one company has been shifting classic cars into another gear. Here's Deja Charles with the story.
Vic Edelbrock Sr. began his car company with a 1932 Ford Roadster. 75 years later, his son, Vic Jr., is accepting recognition for the automotive empire his late father passed on to him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here's a certificate of congratulations.
Hosted by the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, a ceremony at the Edelbrock headquarters was held to present the business with a congratulatory certificate for its success and support of the community.
People know that Edelbrock Industries is housed in Torrance, and by just that alone, we get the recognition that Torrance is a viable city where things are made. We have manufacturing here as well as retail. So that's a big part of the balance of the city.
As one of the first automotive aftermarket companies on the West Coast, Edelbrock prides itself for keeping jobs within the U.S., with 300 of those jobs at their headquarters here in Torrance. As for the company, Vic Jr. says they'll continue to take it one day at a time. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Deja Charles.
Thanks, Deja. Later in the show, we have more coverage from Edelbrock as they host a classic car show supporting a children's charity. And we'll take you to an all-day music festival celebrating the work of a classic icon.
My son has been drinking, and I think he's using drugs.
I just feel so ugly. I don't want anybody to see me.
So sad all the time. I can barely get out of bed.
I just needed to talk to someone because I miss him so much.
Stand strong. No matter what you're going through, there is hope at the end of the line.
Focus on the family. How can we help?
As a first-time Olympian, it was a true honor for me to represent Team USA in London. I'm also proud to represent another great team, the Multiple Sclerosis Association of America, who sponsors Swim for MS, a national fundraiser where you can create your own swim challenge. Anything from swimming laps for pledges to jumping cannonballs for cash. If you love swimming like I do, register today at swimforms.org.
Edelbrock recently hosted their 8th annual Revved Up for Kids charity event. It's a special year for this local company as they're also celebrating their 75th anniversary. Renee Ng has the details.
Cars literally revved up for Edelbrock's popular annual charity event.
This is our Rev for Kids car show, 8th annual. I think we've got a record crowd and a record number of cars here.
The classic cars displayed at the show are one of the biggest highlights of the free event.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, they have a lot of great cars of all different kinds, from the 50s, 60s, 70s. They have race cars, they have everything.
From the cars you've seen in movies like Austin Powers and Jurassic Park to Corvettes, they had it all, even the world's fastest street-legal vintage race car.
All the vintage race cars, they're only track only, they're not registered for the street. I've never been beat by a car that's been registered.
And it wasn't just hot rods at the show. There were vintage dragsters like the one I'm sitting in right here.
We get like 10 vintage dragsters, Shirley Madownies and that, and they're here and they're running, and they fire them up every once in a while on nitro.
Vic's daughter, Christy Edelbrock, started this event 8 years ago and raised over $500,000 for Center for Learning Unlimited. Since that organization now has enough support, they focus this year on raising money for the new Edelbrock Family Foundation, which focuses on inspiring the next generation of automotive enthusiasts. And that's what local schools with automotive and technical programs hope for.
We were here, we saw what was going on, and we thought, well, hey, maybe we can get some of these kids to come out and participate in our program and at the same time help support the local high schools.
Southern California high school teams got a chance to show off their skills at the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow Engine Challenge.
The Engine Challenge, which is on the other side of this building over here, is going on right now. They have 17 teams, and they boil it down to the winner.
Winning the event means tearing down and rebuilding a small block Chevy engine against the clock.
When you're in there and you're under time pressure, what does that feel like?
It's weird. You're just trying to go as fast as you can. You get nervous because you don't want to get anything wrong.
It's a long process. We start out, it takes about an hour, and they just work their way down. We work 4 days a week, every day, and they did really well. I'm proud of them.
For younger kids, there was a kids' corner with carnival games and prizes. Families also enjoyed sampling food trucks while listening to the tunes of a live band.
We've been having a great time here, hanging out. Families come out. It's great.
And for Christy, Vic, and their team, the event is a great way to connect with their fans and inspire new ones.
It's just great to see people. I sign posters and sign hats, and it's just that touch that you don't get behind your desk.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm Renee Ng.
Thanks, Renee. This year's event included interviews with a cast member from the cable TV show Sons of Anarchy and performances from a local dance troupe. Hundreds of Bob Dylan fans crowded the Torino Festival Plaza. Recently, here's Juanita Adame with the story.
The sights and sounds of Bob Dylan filled the Torino Plaza recently as fans of the music icon came together for a day of singing and dancing.
My partner Andy Hill and I have been having these. We started out doing them in our backyard, and then it's just escalated to kind of what you've been seeing here today. It's great.
Musicians Renee Safier and Andy Hill started Dylan Fest back in 1991, and both say the festival has grown much bigger with crowds of all ages who can't seem to get enough of his music.
This is a wonderful type of music, and we're very glad to support it.
This year's festival featured a wide variety of bands from all over the country, some good food, and endless hours of classic Dylan hits like Blowing in the Wind and Shot of Love.
64 Bob Dylan songs, no repeats. Some I haven't heard in a long time, and some I know every word to.
Sandy Behar came to Dylan Fest for the first time a few years ago and says she's been hooked ever since.
I think that this is the best $25 you can ever spend, and if you have an opportunity to go to Dylan Fest next year, don't miss it.
And this year, not many did miss it. Bob Dylan fans from all over, of every age and every generation, definitely agreed that Dylan Fest 2013 was indeed something special. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Juanita Adame.
Thanks, Juanita. For more information and photos from this year's event, visit andyandrenee.com. King's Hawaiian Bakery in Torrance has been using its sweet bread recipe to attract local residents to their restaurant for more than 25 years. And with the success of the family business, the restaurant decided to give back to the community through their Project Mahalo campaign. Reporter Jennifer Hua has more on the story.
Living the Hawaiian way is all about giving without expecting anything in return.
It's sort of like the graciousness of Hawaii and just making sure that everybody feels welcome and treat everybody as ohana or family.
Third-generation owner Courtney Terra is making sure King's Hawaiian lives up to this tradition. The local restaurant and bakery, famous for their Hawaiian sweet rolls, put together their campaign, Project Mahalo, and made a generous donation to several different charities.
So Project Mahalo, we had 4 organizations and they had voting. It was open to all of our consumers, and so everyone sort of went online and voted for the organization that they felt best embodied the Hawaiian way, and the winner was picked by our consumers.
The participants were Big Brothers Big Sisters, Family Caregivers Alliance, Meals on Wheels, and One Warm Coat. Meals on Wheels won and received the grand prize.
We're humbled. We're extremely grateful to be selected as the #1 charity in the campaign. And we're really honored to receive a $25,000 contribution. It's going to go a long way to supporting our efforts to end senior hunger in America.
For King's Hawaiian, sharing the aloha spirit was their way of showing their appreciation to the community.
King's Hawaiian is very grateful to these 4 organizations for all of the work that they do. And Project Mahalo Mahalo means thank you in Hawaiian, and this is our way to just say thank you to all of them.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm Jennifer Hua.
Thanks, Jennifer. In addition to donating $25,000 to Meals on Wheels, Kings Hawaiian also gave $10,000 to each of the Project Mahalo participants. Kids diagnosed with pediatric brain tumors led a parade of riders in a motorcycle sidecar to help raise money for a cure. Families, volunteers, and survivors all came out to support this great cause. Jacqueline Wang tells us all about it.
The community cheered on dozens of cancer patients and survivors at the LA Ride for Kids event, a unique fundraiser dedicated to the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation.
We're here because we did this event 2 years ago in support of a friend, and little did we know at that point in time, Cadence actually had a brain tumor herself. So this event, it means a lot to us because the Pediatric Foundation helps in early diagnosis of kids and treatment.
The mission of the LA Ride for Kids event was to raise money to help find a cure for the deadliest form of childhood cancer.
About 28,000 people have a diagnosis of a pediatric brain tumor in the United States. And we're working harder than ever to raise money for research and for support for families for these kids all across the country.
The charity event included a motorcycle stunt show put on by the Victor McLaughlin Motor Corporation. Actor and famed drummer Mickey Jones also made a special appearance to show his support for the kids.
I guess the reason I'm here is I'm probably the largest 9-year-old here today because I am a sucker for kids. Anytime I can go do something to help a kid, count me in. I will be there.
From face painting to riding on a motorcycle sidecar, the survivors, who were the stars of the day, had a lot to look forward to.
Riding with my dad and just meeting these people that are doing this for the kids that were diagnosed.
It's great to see the kids smiling and having fun since they often have a lot of hospital stays and operations and treatments, so this is a really fun event for them.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm Jacqueline Wang.
Thanks, Jacqueline. The Ride for Kids program has been in action for 30 years now, and motorcyclists have raised more than $60 million, all of which goes towards research and college scholarships. To see how you can help the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, visit rideforkids.org. Hundreds of teens and their parents got a very important lesson on driver safety. Here's Deja Charles with more on the story.
Thank you so much, Raymond.
You're welcome.
And park.
Yep.
The Governor's Safety Highway Association reported that teen drivers' deaths increased by 19% in the first 6 months of 2012. Well, Toyota Motors is here to bring that to a screeching halt. Offered for 2 days, parents and their teens spent 3 hours learning about their driving behavior, and the facilitators at the Toyota's Driving Expectations program used the time to correct it.
Toyota is conducting Toyota Driving Expectations, which is our free program for teens and their parents primarily to teach kids how to be safe behind the wheel. This is not a program designed to teach teens how to drive, but more so to polish their skills after receiving their permits or license. After orientation, parent-teen duos were split up and assigned to driving instructors who coached them about defensive driving.
I believe that it is really important for us to be able to share that knowledge and all those skills that are going to help to make safer, smarter drivers.
This is Toyota's 10th year offering the program free of charge to the general public across the nation. Because of its great success, Toyota employees like Tracy Hodgins are bringing their young drivers out to gain more experience behind the wheel.
I work here at Toyota, and I've always known that they've offered this program, so I couldn't wait to get her involved because I think the defensive driving skill is something that you learn over time, and it's not taught in the classes that the state offers.
Her daughter Kylie joined her class on the driving course to get first-hand practice at how distractions, like not looking ahead and changing the radio station, could lead to danger.
Actually, the first month I had my license, I got rear-ended by someone in a parking lot. It wasn't really an accident, but I mean, it was enough to get me cautious about what's around me and looking around, backing up and stuff.
Facilitators emphasize that if teens see good driving skills at home, they will most likely imitate the same behavior.
It doesn't hurt for parents to reflect a little bit and consider their driving skills and their driving habits, and are they, when they get behind the wheel, demonstrating the correct way to drive for their kids.
Kylie says the most important lesson she has learned is to self-reflect on her driving technique and how that alone can make the most difference.
I think for the future, teen drivers will be a lot more cautious about what's around them, looking ahead rather than looking straight right in front of them, because that's my problem as well. I just look right in front of me. I'm not really looking forward to see what's coming, obviously, because I'm just in the moment.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm Deja Charles.
Thanks, Deja. Teens received a certificate of completion after the course. Toyota offers this program once a year in Torrance. For more information on this program and many other teen driving resources, you can visit ToyotaDrivingExpectations.com. The swim season is getting closer, and the Torrance South Bay YMCA is encouraging children and parents to keep safety in mind. As part of National Water Safety Month in May, the Y recommends following these tips when in and around water. Swim only when and where there is a lifeguard on duty. Never swim alone. Adults should constantly and actively watch their children. Inexperienced swimmers should wear a Coast Guard approved life jacket. Parents or guardians of young children should be within an arm's reach, and children and adults should not engage in breath-holding activities. Now, the Y has been a leader in providing swim lessons and water safety for more than 100 years. If you'd like more information on their swim programs, visit ymcala.org. Coming up after the break, a local resident trades in football cleats for high heels. We'll fill you in on the details.
This could be a bicycle. Or a bag. This could be a robot. Or an airplane. This could be a playground. This could be a book bag.
Or a soccer ball.
This could be a book. This could be beautiful.
This cannot be trash.
This can all be recycled. Learn more at thiscouldbe.org.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Don't miss your chance to fly in a classic warbird at this year's Armed Forces Day Parade. Now's your chance thanks to the Western Museum of Flight. With a $10 donation per ticket, your name will get entered into a drawing to potentially fly in some amazing aircrafts like the BT-13 Valiant and the P-51 Mustang. Now, if you win, you'll get a bird's eye view of the Armed Forces Day Parade as you'll be flying high above the crowds. The flyovers will take place during the Armed Forces Day Parade on Saturday, May 18th. Now, for more information, you can call 310-326-9544 or visit WMOF.com. You're never too old to get scammed, so the Torrance Police and Community Services Departments are inviting you to the Seniors Don't Be Scammed seminar on Tuesday, May 21st. There will be guest speakers and presenters who will cover the top 5 scams currently involving and targeting seniors. This event takes place from 10 a.m. to noon at the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library in the Community Meeting Room. If you'd like more information, contact Torrance PD Community Affairs at 310-618-5735 or visit police.torranceca.gov. Now let's go out to the sports desk where Juan Hernandez has a preview of what's to come. Juan?
Hey there, thanks for checking in with us right here on the sports desk. Check out what we got coming up on the show this week. Over in the Pioneer League baseball scene, well, we're just going to call it a conundrum in the Pioneer League standings. And the man they simply call Feather, Coach John Featherstone over at El Camino College. We take a look at not only what he's accomplished as a coach, but really the lives he's impacted in the Warrior football program. If you want to check that out, you're going to have to see us right here on the sports desk every day at 4 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE 3.
Thanks, Juan. The winner of a regional beauty pageant is from none other than the South Bay. Wealthy Jenner reports on her incredible journey.
We are outside the amazing 23-year-old Christine Masajo's home, where we're about to find out how she went from these football cleats to these 6-inch heels. Christine Masajo has loved football since she was little.
My stepdad Brock used to always sit and watch football, and I would watch him and wanted to sit with him, so I eventually got involved in just sitting with him after every game and talking about the game, and I got really interested in it.
So I decided to do football after I failed at rugby because rugby was too intense for me. So I decided to go with a friend just to one of the tryouts, and I didn't realize it was a professional women's league.
Fresh out of college, she made the team and played for about 2 years until forced to leave due to a football injury.
I decided I was going to try something crazy. It was on my bucket list to try something out of my comfort zone, and I signed up for Miss California USA.
After completing a series of interviews, Masajo acquired the Miss South Bay title to eventually compete against 214 other California women for Miss California. If she wins, she will compete in the Miss USA pageant. Additionally, Masajo, being half Filipino, entered a Filipino pageant called Binibining Pilipina USA and is currently being considered.
It's just been a completely 180, completely different from what I thought and what you see on TV, and these women are absolutely just completely passionate about what they do and the charities that they have.
With Masajo's undoubtable beauty, it's surprising to hear she's new to the modeling and pageant world.
To be honest, my husband and all of us in the family were a little nervous because, first of all, we never saw her as the feminine, so cute girl. She was a tomboy, basically.
My friends know me as the type of person that never brushes her hair. I'm always at the beach and I just have like big, crazy, long hair.
And while her two sisters poke fun at their newly glamorous big sister, they couldn't be happier for her.
I just want to wish her so much good luck because she's been such a major role in my life, and she's always helped me and been there when I needed it to help me on projects, anything I needed. And I just hope she doesn't trip.
Always brush your hair.
Though Masajo claims this is all new to her, Mom says maybe she should have seen this coming.
Actually, when she was a baby, they used to call her Smiley Girl. She was very friendly, very secure, I think.
And as if playing professional football and being a beauty queen wasn't enough, Masajo continues to impress.
So if I'm not playing football or part of my church, I'm actually going down to Mexico for volunteer work.
Masajo's philanthropy is called Orphan Love Project, which provides financial assistance to orphanages that have little resources.
The orphanage is in Tijuana, Mexico, and being half Mexican, it's really important to me that I do help out, my country. And we have a teen rehab center that's currently being built because of the support.
Well-rounded with a huge heart, Masajo studied international development and has hopes to be a United Nations humanitarian ambassador one day, and maybe open her own orphanages around the globe. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Wealthy Jenner.
Thanks, Wealthy. Christine recently shared with us she will be competing for a chance at the Miss California title later this year. To learn more about her philanthropy, visit orphanloveproject.org. Well, that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.